What's up, guys? We are back
Yes.
with the one and only Ivan Joshua Lowe.
Thank you. You're too kind.
I am. But we're here talking about some vintage cameras or some vintage inspired cameras because obviously we know there's been the X-T5, which has done very, very well with Fujifilm as of late. Obviously the whole X series line has done well with the whole vintage retro vibe. And then Nikon came to the game with the Zf-C a couple years ago and now with the Zf, which has gained a lot of popularity. So we thought, why not we bring them both together in some form of fashion and highlight some of the other lenses we're testing along with it, but at the same time, find out about Ivan's photography history because there's an old camera here, Ivan.
It is. You see, as much as I'm a Fuji fanboy, but this, I started first with a Nikon. This is my first Nikon. It belongs to my dad. It's a hand-me-down. So when Bobby showed me the Zf, I think, wow, it looks very nice. And actually, the design of it is pretty similar.
It is.
There's a lot of history behind it, you know?
Yeah, there is. So let me take off this Viltrox lens for a second. We'll put on the 40mm f2, which is the special edition lens for this as well, to kind of give it that retro vibe. So there we have it, old and new. Do you know what model this is?
It's the Nikon FM. So the FM2 has a shutter speed of 4,000. This is the original. It has only 1,000 of second shutter speed.
And this is modeled after the FM2, but you see the design language right there, of course. So as an ambassador of Fujifilm, though, this is now becoming more of just a piece of memento.
Yes, it is.
Piece of your history.
Correct.
And now we bring in...
You see, I feel this may not be a competition to the X-T5 because they are basically a different frame size, as in the sensor size is different. In order to compete with the Zf now, we got this new lens by Artra Lab, right? It is like a replica.
This is cool. I actually like this lens a lot.
Yeah, it is so retro, right?
So he's got sort of a Nikkor lens. What's it called? Artra Lab?
Yeah, Artra Lab.
Artra Lab.
When I shoot it, it does make me feel that I'm shooting film. That's the beauty of it. It's not the sharpest of lens. Neither is it soft. It is decent. The build quality is beautiful. But being a biased person, this is the most Nikon setup I can do with the X-T5. And it look hot. Look.
It actually does look really good. I'll be honest with you, this lens is a very nice looking lens. I mean, if I was to give any criticism to the Nikkor 42 and the 28-2.8, which has got the same design, I feel like they could do a little bit more in terms of the design language to sort of carry over to the old Nikkor AIS lenses. I mean, case in point, I have the 58 Noct here, okay? This is the 58 1.2 Noct. I mean, this is a beautiful lens. Feel the weight of this lens. I mean, it's heavy.
Wow.
All metal, all glass. I would love to see Nikon actually do that with these special edition lenses here, with the same markings, the yellow, the white, the various different colors. Here is just, I would say, more inexpensive build overall.
This one does have, it does have its heritage.
It does.
That's why the Artra Lab did it very well in terms of the design element.
Even Voigtlander has Nikon F mount lenses and Z lenses that actually have this design language as well too. From Hong Kong?
Yes, it is from Hong Kong.
And they make Z mount lenses, right?
Yes, and I think 2 other mounts, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's coming up.
Interesting. Got to try that.
So the question is, how many kidney does this cost?
Depends on what country you're at. No, all kidding aside, I mean, this lens obviously is a collector's lens, so the 58-1.2 can, depending on the condition, go anywhere from 3,000 plus to 4,000 plus US dollars.
Wow.
For the lens. They only made it for a few years.
Right.
Now, if you look at some of the more modern lenses of today, the 1.2s, et cetera, is this necessarily going to best those lenses? No. I mean, I think Voigtlander's done some great things with their lenses and other companies as well, but it's more of a collector's lens, a piece of history, the rarity of it that makes it much more enticing. I mean, also, from what I understand, when they filmed the Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix, they actually used this lens for a lot of the scenes, probably rehoused it for a cinema functionality, but for the most part, the optics were there. So it gives you a very different, very unique look at the 55-1.2 and the 50-1.2 are close, but not to the same level as the 58-1.2. I also love the fact that you can do subject detection manual focus with this camera, which makes it very unique amongst a lot of the cameras that we adapt lenses to.
A couple of lenses here too.
We do. We got some other lenses here to showcase.
Okay, this is Viltrox, right?
Viltrox. This is the 28 F 1.8 lens from Viltrox. So they sent this out to me to try. It's an spherical autofocus lens. You talked to me a lot about Viltrox lenses in the past because you tried with the Fujifilm mount. And this is my first entry into the Viltrox world. I mean,
how do you find the autofocus, the image quality?
Actually, it's not bad. The autofocus is surprisingly good.
Right.
I mean, it's right up there with very close to what Nikon has on their lenses. The image quality is fantastic out of this. I mean, it's 1.8, so you get a nice depth of field onto it, which I appreciate because sometimes a 28mm full frame can look very much like an iPhone shot.
Yes.
You know, especially when you stop down 5.6, thereabouts. This gives you a nice sort of separation to the image, and I can't complain about it. I mean, obviously it's a larger lens in terms of the length, but the image quality's there. It's got all the electronic connections on the back of
That's
it.
what I love about Viltrox. On the bigger side, in terms of the size of the lens,
Yeah.
but the image quality, the autofocus, is not compromised.
Well, it doesn't have the retro vibe per se.
It has a modern look, actually.
Let me take up this hood off. Black on black, it does work relatively well.
I love the fonts of the aperture.
This is nice.
Very clean.
I wish it was a clicked aperture, but you can't have it all. I'll just put it auto mode and then
Do they have two versions? Like, sometimes they have a click and de-click version.
I don't think so. At least they didn't tell me that. I mean, there is some tension to it, so it isn't like you're not going to knock it out of whack, but you can always just set to auto and then just control it by the wheel here if you want to do that. So that's the Viltrox. What about you? What else you got?
I just got this new 35mm f1.8 by TT Artisan. Okay, it comes with a square.
Is this announced yet?
Couple more days.
Soon. Okay,
Yeah,
so by the time this video comes out, you guys already see it.
Yeah, that's right. So it comes with a square hood.
Is this metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's metal.
So you save money.
Yeah, because square hood, which makes that, I was first introduced to the square hood by you.
Right.
With when we did the X100V.
Right.
Right. You passed it to me. And that was probably one of the most requested accessories I've ever gotten on any camera. Where did you get that hood? Where did you get that hood? Where did you get that hood?
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
And it's not really that cheap too.
But now TT Artisans has made a more affordable one.
Yeah. I don't know the price. If I'm not wrong, it's 149 USD.
Wow.
With the hood.
Not bad. How's the lens build quality?
It's good. It's light. It's autofocus. It's probably the second autofocus. The first was a 27mm.
Okay.
2.8, I think.
So how's the autofocus on this?
It is quick,
Yeah.
not fast. It's decent. If you're looking for entry-level autofocus lens, I think this will be it.
I mean, for the price point, you can't beat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, plus the hood.
Right.
And image quality is good, sharp enough.
Okay.
The only disadvantage to me, I feel, is the minimum focusing distance. It's about 60 centimeters.
Ah, okay. Okay.
It'd be nice to have like maybe 30.
Yeah, you would think that it would be that about,
Yeah.
Okay.
So as a general purpose lens, this is perfect based on the price point.
And especially if you're like getting new to photography and you're looking for a very inexpensive lens as well, autofocus, you're picking, let's say, a Fujifilm camera, maybe not the X-T5, which is much more premium,
Yep.
but like an XE camera or something like that.
Yep.
This would be a nice little addition to get to it.
Definitely. It looks great.
Yeah. Because people always ask you, they always ask you this question, like, what's the best camera for $1,000? Or do you get that all the time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the best lens and camera setup?
Yeah.
And-
Either this or that. They give you two lenses and ask you to choose which is better, the f2 or the f1.2.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess part of it when we review gear and we get a chance to play with a lot of stuff, we get access to a lot of expensive equipment. We're very fortunate that way. So sometimes it's hard to sort of go back to that budget, that mindset of saying, okay, what is better for somebody? And this would be a good option. I mean, even this Viltrox, I know it's a much more budget-friendly lens. And, especially someone's getting into a ZF or, a Nikon camera, like an older, like a Z5 or maybe a Z6, they're just picking up secondhand or Z6 II, and they want a good budget lens. This is a great option.
I've seen a lot of professionals using this.
And the 28 is a really good focal length for video too, as well. Very nice for video. I mean, people are really picking up on Viltrox, and people, on YouTube, they think, oh, is Viltrox paying us? No, they're not. Even though they send us,
paying us.
nobody's paying us, unfortunately. But sometimes, I mean, yes, they send us the gear to try out, but at the same time, we're giving you our honest feedback because we're not paid by them to say it's great or not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, you got another lens here I've been very fascinated about. When you posted this on Fuji Fanboys, ooh, this looks really good. What is this lens?
It's the new Voigtlander.
Yeah.
f0.9.
It's a 35 millimeter f.95 lens.
f.9.
f.9.
f.9, not
Wow.
0.95.
Wow.
Okay. It's not likes. I
No.
think it's 400 grams, but it's okay. It's a nice size.
It's beefy. I mean, obviously, with that kind of fast aperture, it's not going to be a small lens.
Yeah. But it looks
Oh, it
very
looks
balanced.
gorgeous on there. That looks really nice, the X-T5.
Yeah. This is probably the fourth Voigtlander lens I've tried. It is the same Voigtlander magic.
Right.
The way how it renders the bokeh, it
Yeah.
has this distinct Voigtlander style.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
So now the advantage is 0.9.
How hard is that to focus at 0.9 though?
Okay, there are some lenses that at 0.95, those Chinese make, it's very hard to nail it.
Yes.
Strangely, this is a lot easier to nail it even at 0.9.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, of course you got to learn the technique to nail the 0.9. Of
Sure.
course, not every subject that you shoot will look great at 0.9 or
Right.
0.95. So you have to choose it correctly.
When you stop it down, how is it?
It's sharp. Even at 0.9, it's very usable. That's the beauty of it.
Wow. It's got a nice heft to it. It's a very good looking lens. Ooh, clipped aperture, solid clicks.
It looks very balanced on the X-T5.
It looks very good on the X-T5.
Yeah, it's not too big. It's very balanced.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's very easy to focus. I see what you're talking about.
This is very interesting. The funny thing about Artra Lab, it is not as smooth because there is this resistance to it. After you focus, when you let go, it stays there.
Ah, nice. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, when you release your finger,
Yeah.
it stays there. It doesn't shift. It has this tension to it.
That's actually quite nice. I prefer that.
Yeah,
This is actually a really nice
because
lens.
a lot of these manual lenses are really smooth.
Yes, but when you let go,
yeah,
there always is a
you
little
move
bit of move.
Exactly.
You have to refocus and recalibrate again.
Correct. So this is very interesting to me.
This is a nice little lens. How much are these lenses going for? Do you know offhand?
One of it is 300. This could be 500 plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Singapore dollars, right? Or USD?
USD.
Oh, USD, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but I mean, to give credit to a lot of these manufacturers, they are getting a lot better at their optical qualities, the build quality. I mean, it's a metal lens, it's not a plastic lens, right?
No, it's not, yeah.
So it feels really good. Then let me show you a little bit of the, you know, obviously, when you use a larger lens, you get the small rig grip on this.
That's
you guys
nice.
have seen this. So this is a small rig grip for the ZF. It's attached to the bottom, so it kind of gives you much more of a grip if you want to use a longer lens on that. We've got those things.
Do you really need a grip on a ZF or you think it's comfortable enough?
Honestly, I'm fine without it. It does help a bit when you're using heavier lenses, because here's the thing with Nikon lenses. Fantastic.
That was a trick question because the X-T5 has a better grip.
Yeah, nice
I don't
grip.
need to spend extra money.
That's true. That's true. They're trying to keep it to the very similar feel of the FM2, which had no grip at all. You know?
True.
So they're giving us a little baby grip.
It's improved.
Yeah, but Nikon actually sells their own grip,
Original grip.
but it sells only in Japan,
I see.
which is very funny.
Okay.
It's like, why? It's an accessory.
right.
I don't know. So small rig has sold this worldwide, so that's what everybody's getting this with, but it's a different material.
Okay.
I have the Nikon one for the ZF-C, and it's a really good looking grip. Hopefully they do decide to sell it overseas, Nikon. That would be nice to have. I guess people can always ask though. I mean, obviously you're a Fujifilm ambassador, so you're going to be obviously pro Fuji, and I've used both cameras. But what do you think of this whole like X-T5 or ZF? What do you think?
From the Fujifilm perspective, I feel that the X-T5 has actually captured a lot of the full frame user coming to APS-C because of the look. Now they have an option because of the ZF.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I need to fix this lens to hold some people back to get the X-T5 again.
And to also kind of go on your side of it, also I think what's interesting about Fujifilm is that they have such a great series of lenses for that match, you know, aesthetically, but also optically autofocus lenses for the X-T5, the X series. Whereas Nikon right now, you've got these special edition lenses, the 28-2.8 and the 40f2. They're more kind of plastic in feel, not as robust as their other lenses, but the other lenses they have are larger lenses, which I feel they could come out with, you know, it'd be nice if they come out like an F2 line of lenses, which are much more retro inspired.
I think with time.
They will do it. I'm sure
Yeah,
they
I'm
will.
sure, yeah.
Because with the popularity of this camera, it just makes sense to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that well, a lot of people are looking at the the ZF going, ooh, this is very interesting, and it's a fantastic camera, video functionality, photography, fast autofocus, subject detection, all that kind of stuff. I think we're waiting for more options for smaller lenses.
See, maybe Canon will make a retro camera.
There's some talks of it.
Yeah. So the only Canon camera manufacturer with a disadvantage for retro camera is Sony.
Oh.
They don't have a history of making retro cameras.
Well, technically they kind of do if you look at who they bought, because they purchased Minolta.
Okay. But Sony doesn't have.
I know Sony doesn't, but if they do like a Minolta, like a retro,
Yes, they could,
Or
yeah.
that would be interesting. I don't know if they'll ever do this. Is revive the Minolta name under
Yes,
Sony,
yeah.
and then come out with a series of vintage cameras.
That'll be nice.
But they also have the A7C2 and A7CR, which are sort of retro inspired, so to
Yes,
speak.
yes.
That would compete with this. I don't know. It's very fascinating, but it's an interesting time. But you could honestly say that I think Fujifilm has led this way with this retro inspired.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Was it Fuji or was it Olympus? Pen. Right. It was quite retro looking.
Sure, it was retro.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, your point. You got a good point there. But I think for a lot of people, they look at Fujifilm as the one because the film simulations,
Yes,
all
yeah.
that. This also has film simulations as well. Creative looks, they call it, to do with that. So yeah.
Camera design is a bit like fashion, like bell bottom. You go one big round, they come back again.
Comes back again.
Yeah.
Film wise, you like this?
It's a lovely design.
Lovely design.
Yeah.
I'm not asking him to hold it because he's a Fujifilm ambassador. Not asking him to hold it. No.
But this is, if you like Nikon, I think this is a good option, you know, the nice lens by Artra Lab.
Yeah.
And the funny thing today, we both didn't plan anything, just bring your gears.
Oh yes.
And what the funny thing is, we brought the same bag.
That's right. We brought the same bag here. Yeah. the PGYTECH,
What a coincidence.
which we actually like though. This is a very nice bag.
I like it. I brought it to Japan. I like it because it's very light, the weight of it. 1.6 kg.
Really?
That's all.
Wow. If you guys are looking for a really good camera bag, which these partitions are like
Anchored.
anchored in, so
Yeah.
you can actually move those around how you want throughout the bag.
So it's more secure,
Yeah.
actually.
And they say this is scratch resistant.
I know. I was just
Do you
wondering
have any
how long.
scratches?
Not at all.
No.
I used that for 2 weeks in Japan.
Yeah. I got some marks here that could just be wiped. I could probably wipe them off, but I'm not too sure. But
That's right, true. I didn't realize about that. There's not a single scratch
Yeah.
on my back.
there you go.
Yeah.
Looking for a camera bag. Here's one by PGYTECH. And the price is actually very affordable.
Yeah, very. That's it.
All right, guys. So I hope you enjoy this little fun little chat about the X-T5 and the Nikon Zf and the various series of lenses. Again, I need to try this lens out. That looks absolutely awesome. Ivan, a piece of history.
Thank you. Thanks, Dad.
The last non-Fujifilm camera he'll hold. All right, guys, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button. Follow Ivan as well. Fuji fanboys, of course, you guys know him. And you have the photo contest that just wrapped up recently as well.
That's right, yeah.
You'll have them every year.
Yes.
More coming.
Yeah.
More great gear, reviews coming from Ivan from Fujifilm, everything Fujifilm as well. And with that, guys, take care, stay safe, and we will chat to you soon.
Goodbye.